Hello guys, today our story will be about two elves and a shoemaker, a very old shoemaker. Now, here is the book now that we are gonna read it from. Let's start now. Look for it. Where are you hiding from? Here we go. The Elves and the Shoemaker. Long ago, there was an old shoemaker whose shoes were once admired far and wide, but years of hammering heels and stitching leather had left him in agony. He could no longer make shoes. All day long, that shoemaker stood at the entrance to his shop, watching people come and go in the past. His shop had been full of customers eager to snap up his shoes, but now no one came, and his shop sat silent and empty. The shoemaker stared at his last scraps of leather and sighed. He had enough to make one pair of shoes, but would anyone buy them? The shoemaker's wife knew he needed rest. "Come to bed, dear," she called to him. "We can think about it again in the morning." The shoemaker left the leather on his workbench. He knew he would soon have to close his shop forever, but the very next morning, there on the shoemaker's workbench was a brand new pair of shoes. And what stunning shoes, sleek and stylish. The shoemaker put them on display. Soon a crowd had gathered outside his shop. "What fabulous footwear," they all agreed. The shoemaker sold the new shoes the moment he opened his shop. Now he could afford leather to make two pairs of shoes. The night the shoemaker left the leather on his workbench again and went to bed. The next morning, there was another surprise. New two pairs of boots on the bench. They were even more magnificent than the shoes, with swirly patterns and pointed toes. The first pair of shoes had sold in minutes. These boots were so splendid that they sold in seconds. Who was making these wonderful shoes and boots? They had no idea. The strange shoe. Each night the shoemaker left the leather on his workbench, and each morning he discovered brand new shoes. Word spread that the shoemaker was making fine shoes again, and customers came from far and wide to buy them. They weren't his shoes after all. Someone else was doing all the work, and he wanted to know who. So one night he made a plan. "Let's hide in the workshop tonight," he told his wife. "We can see who comes." That night the shoe shop door opened with a creak. The shoemaker and his wife hid as two shadows darted across the golden moonlight. As the shoemaker and his wife watched two tiny creatures, "They're elves," the shoemaker's wife gasped. "All of this time, have two tiny little elves have been making all those incredible boots and shoes." Subscribe if you know the story and enable those notifications bell to see every video getting uploaded every day. And this is my brother Kinan from the last episode. Look here. Here he is. He's a little bit shy. He's a little bit shy and looking at the door glass. Come on. Tell the viewers. Tell them. Stay tuned for next episode.